Welcome to Sleep Harbour, a safe place where calming stories, gentle narration, and quiet atmospheres guide you toward deep, restful sleep. Before we begin, let yourself settle. Let your shoulders drop a little heavier into the bed. Let your hands rest, unclenched, wherever they happen to fall. There is nothing left to do tonight but listen and drift and eventually let go. Take a slow breath in and release it longer than it came. Tonight we're going back to a narrow street in an old English city on a foggy evening in late autumn, sometime in the 1880s. Gas lamps are just being lit along the cobblestones, and somewhere down that street, past a row of shuttered shops, there's a small bookshop with a light still glowing warm in its window. That's where we're headed. You don't need to hold on to any of it. Just let the story carry you the way a slow river carries a leaf. Part 1. Candle Lane. The street is called Candle Lane, though no one quite remembers why anymore. The cobblestones are damp underfoot, slick with a light mist that's settled over the city as evening comes on. Gas lamps flicker along the row, each one haloed faintly in fog, casting pools of soft amber light that don't quite reach each other. You're walking down this lane now, unhurried, coat collar turned up against the cool, damp air. Your footsteps are the only sound, soft and steady against stone, echoing faintly between the tall brick buildings pressed close on either side. The shops here are mostly closed for the evening. A chandler's, a milliner's, a shuttered apothecary with dark glass bottles just visible in the window. But near the end of the lane, one window still glows, warm, golden, welcoming. A small hand-painted sign above the door reads, in faded gilt letters, Hollis and Sons Booksellers. You've been here before, though it's been some time. The bell above the door still hangs slightly crooked, the way you remember it. You push the door open, and the small brass bell gives a soft, familiar chime. Warm air rushes out to meet you. Wood smoke, old paper, beeswax polish, the particular smell that only very old bookshops seem to have, built up over decades of quiet afternoons. Part 2. The Shop. Inside, the shop is narrow and impossibly deep, shelves rising floor to ceiling on either side, packed close with leather-bound volumes, whose gilt titles have mostly worn to a soft, illegible shimmer. A single gas lamp burns low near the back, and beside it, a small iron stove ticks quietly as it cools, having been well tended most of the day. No one else seems to be here tonight. Perhaps the bookseller has stepped out, or perhaps he's simply somewhere deeper among the shelves, in one of the many small alcoves that seem to fold back further than the shop's narrow frontage should allow. You're welcome here regardless. There's a worn leather armchair near the stove, positioned exactly where firelight and lamplight both reach it, and it seems, somehow, to have been left open for you. You settle into it. The leather is cool at first, then warms quickly beneath you. Beside the chair, a small side table holds a cup of tea already poured, steam still rising gently from it, as though someone knew somehow that you'd arrive at exactly this moment. You wrap both hands around the cup. It's warm, not hot. exactly the temperature for drinking slowly without hurry. You take a small sip. It tastes of something dark and comforting, faintly of honey. Outside, through the front window, you can see the fog thickening along Candle Lane, gas lamps softening into faint gold smudges in the grey. In here, everything is close and warm and quiet and entirely unhurried. Part 3. The Book. On the side table sits a single book, bound in soft, worn green leather, no title visible on its spine. It seems to have been left there for you as well, the way the tea was. You pick it up. It's heavier than expected, comfortingly so, the way old books often are. The cover is cool and slightly rough with age. You open it, and the spine gives a soft, well-worn creak, the sound of a book that has been opened gently many, many times before. The pages inside are thick and slightly yellowed, the type old and slightly uneven, the way it was before printing became perfectly precise. There's no need to read every word. You can simply let your eyes drift across the page, taking in fragments, a description of a garden somewhere, a long winding sentence about the weather, a paragraph about a journey by carriage through the countryside at dusk. None of it needs to make complete sense. It's the kind of book meant to be read slowly, drowsily, by firelight, with no plot urgent enough to keep you awake for it. Perhaps it's a book of old travel writing. Perhaps it's a quiet novel about country life. It doesn't matter. What matters is the low, steady rhythm of the sentences and the warmth of the stove and the tea slowly cooling within reach. Somewhere above, you can hear the faint creak of old floorboards. The bookseller, perhaps, moving slowly among the upper shelves, sorting volumes by lamplight, in no particular hurry either. It's a comforting sound, the sound of someone else nearby, equally unhurried, equally content in the quiet. Part 4. The Stove. The book grows heavier in your hands, or perhaps your hands grow heavier around the book. Either way, you let it rest gently in your lap, still open, marking no particular page because there's no need to remember where you left off. The stove beside you ticks softly as it continues to cool, embers glowing a deep, low orange behind its small iron grate. Outside, Candle Lane has gone fully quiet, fog pressed thick against the window glass, gas lamps reduced to faint amber smudges in the grey. You could stay here all night if you wanted. The bookseller wouldn't mind. This chair, this stove, this cup of tea gone lukewarm and forgotten on the table, all of it feels like it exists just for this slow, warm, unhurried evening with nowhere else to be. Let your breathing slow to match the ticking of the cooling stove. In, slow, out, slower, in and out. The gas lamp at the back of the shop seems to dim, very gradually, the way lamps do late in the evening when no one's tending them closely. The shelves around you blur softly at their edges, rows of old spines fading into warm, indistinct shadow. You don't have to finish the book tonight. You don't have to finish anything tonight. The shop will still be here tomorrow. Candle Lane still quiet and foggy outside. The bookseller still moving softly among his shelves whenever you happen to wake. For now, all you have to do is let the chair hold you, let the warmth settle into you fully, and let everything else, the book, the tea, the lamp, the fog outside the window, grow soft and distant and unimportant. Sleep well.